Hello friends! After months of hard work, we are now able to show you the entire process of how we managed to make a sculpture of the Infinity Gauntlet.
So let's go!
We start by fixing a piece of wire on our wooden base. The next material that we will need is a simple roll of aluminum foil.
We take a big piece of it and fold it a few times in order to thicken it and wrap it around the armature wire.
Next up comes our main sculpting material. This is polymer clay.
We went for a yellow goldish color, even though it's going to be painted later anyway.
But for now, I think it just looks nice. With our first layer flattened, we paste it on top of the aluminum foil. We add one more. And then we blend it all together.
So, at this point we can add the armature of the fingers. Using a spoon-like tool, we carve out the intricate details of the gauntlet.
Let's turn it sideways so that we can see better.
Oh, nice. It is starting to seem like there is a hand underneath it.
We'll just sculpt one more line here. And we can attach a piece of clay on the palm. Now we carve a separation in the bottom.
And a few more lines according to its original design.
There, moving on. In the MCU, unlike its comic book counterpart, the Infinity Gauntlet is heavily decorated, which means we are gonna have to recreate all those details by hand and carve out all the excess clay that remains. I, for one, could do this all day.
Don't worry, there's a lot more where this came from. This sculpt has plenty of decorations.
I don't know if it's just me, but this feels like scratching an itch.
I think people should write a comment about it.
What do you think, guys? Do you enjoy this, or should we edit them out next time? Leave a comment down below.
Now, how about a competition? Let's see if I can carve 22 lines in a couple of seconds.
Seemed more like 5. But I can do it in half than that. See?
Well, depends on who's doing the editing.
Now, take a look at this.
What is it?
We're drawing 2 lines over here, and between them, we're putting 3 tiny circles.
With their decoration, of course.
It needs a little tidying with a brush. There we go.
Let's try freehanding a few more lines over here.
Great! Now we just need to carve out the inside. And we are left with a very sharp sculpt.
When we apply the paint later on, you will see that it's this sharpness that will bring out all the detail.
If I may say so myself, I think the details on these sculpts are off the roof.
Well, you know, a little challenge every now and then isn't that bad. On a side note, this technique with a pin here really helps with making clean lines.
And now, we put a ring on it.
I guess, if you're wearing a golden glove full of gems, then you probably are the type of person who wouldn't really mind wearing your rings above your gloves.
Speaking of jewels, this right here is the piece where the green timestone will be positioned. We just have to assemble its casing, which is made of many flat surfaces.
We have already cut them off camera, and we just have to layer them on top of each other.
There, it's done! Moving on to the rest of the fingers.
First, we attach some more clay to them.
And now that the fingers look like fingers, we can start adding flat pieces that are supposed to be the finger guards.
For their decoration, we put these little half moons and we sculpt a few lines so that it looks just like the one we saw on screen.
With these ready, we can now move on to the most important part. We prepare the space where the infinity stones will be placed.
If you look closely, you will see that each one has a different shape.
Using our trusty pin tool once again, we are carving this pattern that I guess looks like hieroglyphics.
I am not so sure if it looks ancient Egyptian. It seems to me that it is rather inspired by the Aztecs, because these lines radiate outwards like the sun.
In order to put the stones in their place, We need to draw a lining around their cases so that we can hollow them out to make room for the stones to be placed. And with that done, let's take a look at the completed sculpture, while we are preparing for its painting.
This time we will use our beloved airbrush, since we are going to apply metallic paint and we don't want any visible brushstrokes.
We must take the gauntlet and put it in the spray booth. In order to bring out the shyness of the metallics, we will first apply a black base coat, in hopes of making the shadows deep and richer.
Now, let's see.
Wait, before that, we should thank all of you for being here and remind you to subscribe. Come on, you guys, an act of kindness goes a long way.
Thanks again, and with that we're back to the painting.
This is the scariest part, because as the paint is building up, if there are any scratches or cracks, the paint will make them extremely obvious.
Well, it doesn't seem like there is something to worry about. Let's take a look around it.
It's fine. We can move on to the gold paint.
Although, if I'm being honest, the paint is not exactly gold. In order to be screen accurate, we have added a tiny bit of silver and an even tinier drop of bronze inside it. If you pay close attention, perhaps you can see it.
Now that it is clean and shiny, let's take a moment to enjoy a 360 view of the gauntlet, before we stain it with a dark wash.
Did you know that in some paint tubes, you can use the cone on the cap to puncture a hole for the paint to come out?
Of course, I love smart designs like that.
Now we'll use a small dish to drop a little bit of black paint inside it. To make the wash, we will add a generous amount of water and mix the two thoroughly.
With the help of a very thin brush, we trace the lines with our wash.
It doesn't really matter if it won't follow them exactly, because at this point we can just wipe it off. Even though this is the easiest part of the entire sculpture, you will see that it's probably doing the most work.
Perhaps it is too wet for us to see right now, but as it is drying, you will see how much of a difference it makes.
Sort of like a patina tarnish that we come across in jewelry sometimes. It creates a contrast that really makes the details come out.
You know the paint is fine and all, but the Infinity Gauntlet without the Infinity Stones is just a gauntlet.
What if I told you that we already have something amazing at our possession?
What do you mean?
Well, remember that old treasure chest that we found on that deserted island?
You mean the one we bought at the gift shop?
That's the one. There was something inside it, something that perhaps we could use. Something sparkling.
Is that what I think it is? A piece of the Mind Stone?
No, a piece of colored glass. But it looks great and it sticks wonderfully with glue. And so do the rest of them.
Now we need a base for it to stand on.
Hold on, I have an idea. We'll use some square cutouts from foam board to make them look like a pedestal.
We'll just need a little bit of putty to fill in the holes. There we go.
I think we should make it look like it's made of granite. For that, first we will have to cover it in grey paint. Then we're going to use a toothpick to throw some droplets of white paint on it at random.
It's looking nice.
Only a few more of them and I think it's ready.
Okay, it's ready. Let's grab the gauntlet and mount it on top.
If you give me a moment, I'll bring that background we've made so that we can showcase the gauntlet as part of the diorama.
This next part is for you, friends, and we have a surprise waiting for you. Any moment now. There! Who could this be?
The question is, who could this one be?
Do you guys watching have any clues? Write your thoughts down in the comments.
Who do you think would be best fit to wear the Infinity Gauntlet?
And while you are at it, please tell us any suggestions that you would like us to make next.
We would love to hear your thoughts. Well, more like read, since, comments are written words.
Anyway, that's it for today's video, my friends. We hope you liked it, and thank you very much for watching. See you on the next!